Hi, I'm Heather McConley, and I'm a senior team leader with Usborne Books and More. I wanted to share a little bit about this video that you're about to watch. It is entitled My Very First Facebook Party. In this video, you will see me and my friend Michelle Schiller, who's also a team leader with Usborne. We're going to go through what a Facebook party is like, how to set one up, how to repair one, and what to do during the Facebook party and everything else. So initially we recorded this as a series of videos, but now we have scrunched it into one big long video for you. It'll probably end up being about 40 minutes long. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy. We hope that you learn a lot. Thanks. Today we're going to be talking about setting up your e-show. Because we encourage everybody on our team to have a dual kickoff with both a home party and a Facebook party, I'm also going to be talking a little bit at the end of the video about setting up your first Facebook event. And this will be especially important if you're not very familiar with Facebook. So right now I'm going to start sharing my screen so that you can see how to set up the e-show on your e-commerce site, and then I will switch my screen to the Facebook area where we set up our Facebook event. Thanks for watching. All right, we are going to show you how to set up an e-show. And then the first thing that you guys need to do is to log into your e-commerce page, which is a different page than your consultant login. This is what your consultant login page looks like right now, and by the way, it's May 2016. And this is what what's called your e-commerce site looks like. So your name should appear here, and the address here is youridnumber.myubam.com, and your ID number is a letter followed by 4 numbers. All right, so the first thing that you're going to do is log in. And when you log in as a consultant, you're going to use the email address that you gave Usborne. And sometimes people have more than one email address, so make sure you use the one that you gave Usborne when you signed up. The password should be the last 4 digits of your social security number, but you can certainly change that, and I have changed mine. So you log in, and then once you've logged in, you'll see it says My Account up here. Do you see that? Wish I could draw on my screen. I don't know how to do that. But in the top right-hand corner, it says My Account, so you click on My Account. And then along the left-hand side, under Admin Options, you'll see lots of different things. Store stats and so on and so forth, and you're going to click Add Event. And so then you can set this up as an e-show or an e-fair. Most things are going to be an e-show unless you've actually got a school doing a book fair. The start date can be today, or it can be some point in the future. And then it's going to expire, I believe it's 14 days after your 14 days from the day of today. So 14 days from its start date. So if you choose a different start date, it might expire at a different time. You can change both of those days individually. You can elongate the expiration date if you need to, and so forth. But those are automatically filled the first time you pop up. And then you're going to set up the e-show for your kickoff. So this is going to be your show. So you're going to put in your name. This is my name. So then you're going to put in your email address, and this is the email address that you want to receive Usborne emails at. You are not a tax-exempt organization in all likelihood, and don't worry about the disable shipping option. Then you're going to click on Save, and once you do, it will show up in your event list. And obviously I have another e-show open because I generally keep one open at all times. So I will go in at some point shortly and delete that. But then it's there, and you can click on this link right here. I'm on a Windows screen, but if you're on a Mac screen, this will look slightly differently. And you can copy link location. And when you copy the link location here, you can then go and paste that anywhere. Paste that into an email, paste that into a Facebook event. For those of you who have never set up a Facebook event before, I'm going to very quickly run through how you'll want to do that. So we're going to go over here to your events page, and I'm going to create an event. And waiting. I'm going to say it's called Heather's Kickoff Usborne Kickoff Party, or whatever you want to say, Usborne Grand Opening. If you want it to be an in-person party, you can put your address here, or you can say right here on Facebook. And then you're going to want to put the date and time that it starts. So if it's going to be a Facebook party, we make it like 5 days away. And generally speaking, we do encourage you to set your start time to be and make sure you're in your correct time zone, but about 8:30 or 9 o'clock, because more people are online at that point in time after putting kids to bed. And you can make it go for an hour or a few hours depending on what you'd like to do. I'm going to make this go for 1 hour. And it's going to be in Boston, Massachusetts, because that's essentially where I am. And then you're going to say that you're going to cut and paste the description that we give you in the very first Facebook party script. But keep in mind that you copied that link location, and so you're going to be able to just paste that in anywhere you need to into the description. You're going to upload a photograph, and you're going to upload, we have all kinds of graphics for you. And so I'm going to choose one here, but so you want to create your put your Facebook thing in here, and then your cover photo in here for the event, and then guests can invite friends if they want to. You can unclick that if you'd like, and then just click create, and there you go. You have got an event created here. And this is what it looks like. Before you go ahead and invite anybody, you're going to want to what's called furnish the room and put a few pictures in there besides the cover photo, and just welcome people to your grand opening or your kickoff party. So that is how you you set up an e-show, and then you set up your Facebook event, and I hope this has been helpful.
Hi, I'm Heather, and this video will be talking about running your Facebook party. It's going to be in two parts. The first part I'm going to do, which is setting up your Facebook party to run, and then the second part Michelle will do about actually during your party and the day of your party. So the first thing that you need to do is to set up your Facebook event, and we've talked a little bit about that, and then do something called furnish your room. Just as if you were inviting people over to your home and you invited them to come into your living room, you wouldn't invite them to take a seat in an empty room on the floor, unless you were moving. And so in the very same way, you need to furnish your room. You need to put in a couple of things that show your personality, that show a little bit about what you'd like to talk about. We have some graphic advice for you there in a different post and in the scripts for this. You'll need to invite your host to the party at this point and make her a co-host. Once she says that she's going to the party, you can make her a co-host. And then she can start inviting the people who have said that they'd like an invitation. About 3 days before the party begins, you're going to want to put up the How Old Is Your Reader post. And if you'd like to try your hand at making wish lists, you certainly may. And then 2 days ahead of time, a day ahead of time, if you'd like to play any games, you can do that too. But the most important thing that I wanted to talk about is the video portion. Use your team leaders or your sponsors. But we do advise you, if you can and when you have the time, to do your own videos. And they can be as simple as on Facebook Live, so you don't have any prep time. Watch me open my kit books and then show the inside of each book. It's really important to do this because people they aren't able to page through the books themselves on a Facebook event. They can't pick up the book and see how wonderful it is. And so if you can just do a little bit with your kit books to show what the party's going to be like, that's great. If you don't have your kit yet and you're already doing your party, feel free to visit somebody locally who has books, and we can hook you up with that person if you're not local to us, and we can certainly get you that going for you. Or you can again use the videos that we've already created. So I think there's one more thing I wanted to say, and that is a lot of people use a party poster to post during their party, something like Post My Party or Cinch Share. Some people use Hootsuite, which is free, to post their party in advance. And you certainly may do this. My first Facebook parties that I held, I just simply kept tabs open across the screen, and I would load a post inside the event, and then when the time rolled around that I wanted to post it, I would just go into that tab and click post. And that's another way that you can do this very quickly as well, without having to make the decision about, what you would like to do long term. So I hope that this has been helpful, and I hope that you feel a little bit more confident now about setting up your very first Facebook party.
Hi, I'm Michelle, team leader with Usborne Books and More, and in this video we will be going over host coaching and how to coach your host on her invitations. Now, if this is your very first Facebook party and you are the host, then simply apply everything I'm saying to yourself and do it, and that way for future hosts, you'll be able to tell them exactly what you did, you have that experience, and you can tell them just how easy it is and how successful it was. So the very first thing when you have a new host is to confirm with them their time and their date of their party and note the time zone. Of course, it's obviously important that you're friends with them on Facebook. I'm assuming that you already are. If not, go ahead and do that step too. Now, the next thing, right when you schedule that date with them, if you're going to communicate with them over Messenger, text, email, phone, you need to determine the best way to reach them. And you're probably going to use a few, but check with them. What's the best way for me to reach you? Do you prefer right here on Messenger, or would you like me to send you texts? And what's the best email address for you to check? Okay, so now you know how to contact them, and you can move on to the next step. Depending on when their party is, the first thing you want to do is look at that date and count backwards by about 7 to 10 days. That's when you will touch base with them and give them instructions on their inviting. Now, if their party is further out than that, you want to let them know that right away when they book, that they'll be hearing from you then, because you don't want them to think that you've forgotten them. So here we are, 7 to 10 days before, and you're going to send them a message. I'm really looking forward to your Facebook party. It's time for you to make a list of the people that you'd like to invite. So have them open up their friends list and go down physically with a piece of paper and write down the names of the people that really think would enjoy the books. For their kids, for their nieces, for their grandchildren, think outside the box. You're aiming for a list of 50 to 60 people. Now, if this is your business launch party, feel free to go beyond that, because you probably have a lot of more personal connections and it's your own business. You can do that. But I'm also going to encourage you to have 2 business launch parties. You can have an A list and a B list. And it really depends on what situation you're in, whichever one you decide to do. But you might want to be thinking ahead already. I'm going to have 2 kickoffs. We don't want your party to get too big, and I'll explain why about that in another video. Now, you have your host, make a list of those people that she thinks are going to love the books, and you're going to give her a little blurb that she's going to use, and you're going to say to her, I'm going to ask you to spend about 30 to 40 minutes and personally invite your guests. Here's some words you can use. Hi, Katie. I'm a brand new Usborne Books and More consultant, and I'm going to be having my business launch party. I'm really excited to share these books with you, and my party is going to be completely on Facebook. I'm going to be sending out invitations soon. Would you like me to include you? Or would you like to be invited? Or would you like an invitation? Okay? Always end that little blurb with a question that throws the ball to them so that they can throw it back. And then, since you have everyone's name listed, as you hear back from people, and you will pretty quickly, you can start marking off all of the yeses on that list. And then you know who you need to follow up with as we get closer to the party. Now, if you're not the hostess and you're host coaching, you're going to provide them with a blurb as the consultant. I'm so excited for your party coming up. I'm going to have you message your guests individually because it's really important that they feel personally invited to your party. And we want to include them once they've told us that they want to be there. So here's a blurb that you can use and encourage them to personalize it as they wish. Hi, I'm having an Usborne Books and More party. I just discovered these books for your kids for my kids, and I'd love to share them with you. I think you'd really like them for your children or grandchildren, etc. as well. My party is going to be this date and time. You don't actually have to be able to go to the live portion to participate or order, but I would love to send you an invitation. Would you like one? Would you like to be invited? Would you like to be included? Okay? So that's just some of the wording that you can use when sending that email to your future hosts. Now, once they've got that, you're going to touch base with them again. How is it going sending out those invitations? And they'll let you know, oh, I've already got 6 people who want an invite. That's great. Okay, I am going to be setting up your event. You're going to let them know this about 6 days before. We have found that 5, maybe 4 days is the sweet spot for setting up Facebook parties. Any longer and people tend to lose interest, and shorter just doesn't give them enough time. So our target is 5 days. Now don't sweat it, it's okay. We're just talking about a goal. And so you're gonna let them know to have that list ready to go as soon as you add them as a co-host on the party, and we've talked about that in a different video. You're going to message your host again. Okay, I've got you all set up. Go ahead and add all of those people who said that yes, they'd like an invitation. All right, so you've done that. You've got her going. She's now set up. Well, now the next thing you want to do is make sure that you haven't forgotten about those people who she didn't hear back from, right? So give it a couple hours, maybe a day, and send her a little message because now she's seeing people starting to respond. All right, Katie, remember that list that you had? How many people on that list have you not heard back from? This is a great time to message them and tell them, hey, I sent out my invites, but I never heard back from you. Would you like me to include you? If so, I'll add you in and then just check your notifications to RSVP, okay? And that way, you get to cover through her all of the people who she thinks would like to be invited. At this point, her event is set up. And you can tell her that as she's going through life and coming in contact with people, to treat this like a real live party as if it's at her home. That's how she should be thinking of it. So she can continue to invite and include people. In this video, we're going to go through how to run your very first Facebook party. This is just going to touch on the basics. So there are other videos. If you have any questions about anything I say, I'm just going to really quickly go through this with you. Very important, 3 days before your party, you're going to post the How Old Is Your Reader post, and you're going to check your hostess's guest list and write down the names of all the people who have said yes and maybe, and then you're going to tag them in the comments under that post and ask them for the ages and interests of their readers. You're also going to take the step of doing that for all of the people that she invited, kind of like giving them directions. They might not have seen the invitation, or they might not have known what to do with it, or they might still be confused that it's completely on Facebook. It kind of depends. I invite lots of grandparents, aunts, and aunts to the party, so they might not be as familiar. You're going to tag those inviteds in their own comment and just say, oh, I really hope you can make it to the party. Just come on into the event and RSVP and comment below with the ages and interests of your readers. All right, that's 3 days out, and you can watch a different video now as they comment about how to make and post links to their own customized wish lists. Then, the day of the party, you are going to check your inviteds list again, and when you post the 2 hours before, you just give another friendly reminder to the inviteds by tagging them there. I really hope you're planning to join us tonight. Just be here at whatever time the party starts. The rest of what I'm going to show you is simply the way that I run a Facebook party. There are so many ways of doing this, but these are just some suggestions. I like to stay organized, know who I'm talking to, so I take notes throughout ahead of time, so when that party starts, I am ready to go. I will let you know that I do use a paid service like Post My Party or ScentShare. So my posts are going up every couple of minutes. My posts are numbered so people can follow their way around. And all I'm then doing is writing down things, paying attention to who's here, and replying as people comment, saying hello, welcoming them in, and just giving a general sense of comfort and fun and excitement to the party and trying to make it as personalized as possible. These are a couple of forms that you can get, and then this is just a sample of a way that I track my parties as people attend, as I've made them wish lists, and as they order during the party. That way I can go back and refer to it and follow up with people later. All right, so that's what you're going to be doing during your Facebook event. And if you're not using a service, then obviously you're also going to be posting as well, just as Heather had said. Here you go, have fun. I'm excited to hear the results.
And we are going to show you a video of what happens behind the scenes at a Facebook party that Michelle is going to do.
Okay, the reason that we're doing this video is I have heard countless times, and I felt this way myself, boy, I wish I could just be sitting at your elbow to see what's happening on the other end of a Facebook party. And I want to be able to give you the confidence to do this. Because of that, I don't want you to think that the way that I'm doing this is the only way to do it. I have gone out and tried to find out what works and implement the things that are really important about what works into my system. But I encourage everyone to hit the high notes, make sure you do the important things, and then personalize this for yourself. Okay, from the moment I schedule a Facebook party, I print out and fill out one of these checklists all the way down to beginning the party. I can check these two things off. Our party starts in about 10 minutes, and this reminds me of the things that I need to have the host do, the things that I need to do, and I guess that's it. Those are the two things I need to do. Then what I do is once I have the post up that says, how old is your reader? I go in and I click on the invited list. And as long as they haven't said that they can't go, I take all the names of the inviteds and I write them on this column. Usually I have a yes and an invited, but here we had a lot of inviteds, and so I put them in this column. And I put all the people who have RSVP'd yes or maybe over here. Then what I do is in the how old is your reader post, I tag each person by first name in one comment, and I make a nice long list. In this case, again, since there were 2 columns full, I actually did this in 2 different comments. And I've tagged them. I say, I really hope you're going to be able to attend. Please come on over to the event page before the party starts. Click going and then post here or under pre-party post number 3 and just tell me the ages and interests of your children, and I'll make you a customized wish list before the party gets started. So I do that, and that usually will bring people over into the event. I also do the same thing after I've left this up for half a day to a day, because often the people who are going will go ahead and comment without any prompting. And then those that haven't, I go ahead and I tag them and get them to comment so I can make wish lists for them. Then I put in another post, of course, your wish list is ready, and I add their links. The day of the party, about 2 hours before, I have a post that goes up saying 2 hours until your party, and I check my lists and I cross out people who have either RSVP'd that they can't go or who have RSVP'd going. I cross them out and I add them to the going list. And then I take this list once more and I tag everyone. And I say 2 hours until the party starts, and we bring some more people over that way. Consider tagging just like a friendly tap on the shoulder, okay? If you invite someone to something, you need to tell them how to get there. I've already coached my hostess to ask before she invites, so everyone who's on that invited list has told her, yes, send me an invite. So these are not people who are just getting a random invitation. They know about the party and they said they want an invitation. Now, I tag them twice, And like I said, I just think of it as a friendly, hey, maybe you need directions. Here's how to get here, since I know it's already where you want to be. Okay, that's pretty much my system. I'm going to be using it through the party this evening. We start in about 5 more minutes. So what I'm going to do now, when I have a quick break, is I'm going to put a star next to the people who are here for my reference. All right, so now I'm also in a chat with my hostess all the time, so she just checked in. Melissa, welcome. Smiley face. Okay, so we have a star here, and we have a star here, and we have a new guest. That's exciting. I'm gonna write her name down here, and we have one more. There she is. So we've got 4 stars, we've got 4 greetings so far, and one of the most interesting things about Facebook parties is we could have 20 other people watching and we have no idea. I always love it when we get those order emails and we didn't even know the person was at the party. So don't worry, you just think of those people there, they're just in the peanut gallery somewhere. All right, so we refresh. We've got 4 people commenting, and some people may be a little bit timid, and that's all right. So now there's been a little bit of a lull, and so I'm just going to say, okay, everyone, remember to refresh. I always find it very strange in a Facebook party how quiet it is on my end. On their end, they're going to watch my intro video. I'm not going to watch my intro video. I've seen it. I was there. So they're going to watch that, but I have a comment scheduled in my intro. And I'm not hearing my post-it come up. I really like that. I'm kind of like Pavlov's dog. I like hearing that little bing, and I know to do something. And I'm not hearing that tonight. I don't know why. But in a couple minutes, once people finish watching my short, I think it's a 50-second intro video, then the comments come under there. And they simply ask, how do you know about Usborne? What city and state do you live in? So my comment simply says, you know, I live in Methuen, and I've been an Usborne fan for 7 years. And in the video I've just shared, I have some books in the background. I've just shared a little bit about who I am, what I do, and what I'm asking for them. I'm encouraging them to be involved in the party. It's more fun when everyone participates. Just kind of psyching them up to see the books. All right. I like it a little better when we've got 20 people and my feed is just going ba-ding, 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 ba-ding. But it is what it is. That's why I wanted to do this live, so we see what we get and you can see me react to it in real time. All right, so we've got some commenting going on, and I have one person who's still stuck in the greeting tab post saying, how does this work? And I always appreciate those questions, because for every person that asks how it works, there are 10 more people who might be getting frustrated and ready to give up. I try to remind people to refresh often, and I number my posts. Welcome, Deanna. She's a newbie, and she has 3rd grade readers. Wait till you see the videos I'm about to post. Don't be afraid to help and reply to people. It's just, you're just basically taking them by the hand and showing them around. Funny, my very first party, my poor aunt, she got lost. She got lost in my party. Help me, help me. We had a great conversation the next day. And because of her being willing to cry out, I created a post that basically explained how to attend a Facebook party, and it was very well received. Alrighty. I have another fellow homeschooler on the list here, and she has 2 teenagers and 2 pre-readers, a 3 and a 4-year-old and a 14 and a 15-year-old. So when I made her wish list, it was a full gamut. It was really interesting. We've got someone here who's been an Usborne fan for over a decade, and somebody in Colorado who's been a fan for a year. So I just reply and I just say, that's great. Is this your first Facebook party, or have you been to others? And so this person who got lost is trying to attend on her iPad, and that's a little harder. I know on a phone you swipe down to refresh. How do you do it in an iPad?
I think it's about the same.
Okay. To refresh as needed. And follow along. Part 2 is starting. I'll tag you. I find that tagging to get someone where they need to be really helps. Alrighty, so if things get a little bit quiet, somebody just asked for a wish list. I really try and encourage people to ask and get their wish list before we start, but am I going to refuse to give a wish list to somebody who asks? Of course not. That would just be silly. And so I'm gonna just go over and add a wish list right now. I have everything open, make sure I'm refreshing my page so I don't miss anyone. But this is part of the party where your guests are essentially shopping. And God forbid we interrupt them while they're doing that, right?
How many books do you put on a wish list?
I always comment back when I'm doing it, I may have gotten a little carried away. I'm really sorry. And I did put sets on there so that you could see it all with one click. The sets do save you money, but you can certainly buy the titles individually. And I mean, I might, and I never look at the dollar amount. I have to say, I just throw books on there. I probably make them $400 to $500 wish lists, but I don't expect them to buy anything, and they know that. I put that in the post. It's just making it easy for them to not have to search through, find some of our titles, and then find out, oh, well, this is for a 3-year-old when they were looking for a 10-year-old. I can really hone it for them and save them a lot of time. One of the downsides to that, though, is that they might miss something. I don't want them to miss anything. But then again, that's the videos, and they can see quite a lot of the books in my videos. So making it easy versus making them see everything, and there's a little bit of that balance. So now we've got a lull. We're going to go over here. Her name is
Michelle is starting to get some more comments and questions about specific titles, and so I thought it would be a good point to start video recording again. We've taken about a 5-minute hiatus. So our last customer had...
I just had this flashback of as if, we're in labor. When you last saw us, she was 5 centimeters dilated, but now things are really beginning to pick up.
Oh man.
Okay. Hold on, I've got 3 notifications behind. See, I lost 3 notifications just to make that silly joke.
Okay, so
this
her
is not a
last...
very fun video, so at least,
You gotta have fun somewhere,
exactly.
right?
Let's see. Oh, so I've got questions. Oh, wow. So my posts go up really quickly, and I was over answering somebody else about science books and didn't realize I've already put up my post about hosting a party. I've already even put up my post about joining Usborne. In my comment, I'm going to add a picture about the 5 different types of consultants. Just have to find that. I like that one.
So you said that you focus on selling first and then hosting and then joining, but you've got posts that talk about all of them.
Oh, I absolutely do that. I mean, it's in every party. You have to. But as far as personally pursuing someone, I let them order on the party unless they comment immediately in the party that they want to host. And then I encourage them to order and let them know that after the event is over, I'll send them a friend request and a private message and we'll pick a date. They're so easy to do. All right.
There was one post that I thought you did during the party. It's when you had already asked for adjectives that describe your host.
Mm-hmm.
When does that post go up?
I do that post after I finish tagging the 2 hours till the party and all the inviteds. Then I tag all the people who are goings and maybes, and I do the I do the thesaurus post, and I get a nice long list. Hang on just a second. I collect a bunch of adjectives. I type them up in a Word document after everybody's posted theirs, and then I when the party first starts and there's all this buzz and excitement going up on the page, I say, welcome to the amazing, talented, lovely, supportive, yada, 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 Alicia's Usborne party or something like that, or the amazing talented Alicia and I welcome you to her party. Now, I didn't do that in this particular party because, like I said, there was not a lot of buzz and action, and I felt that my host was a little bit more on the reserved and quiet side, and so I just wasn't sure how that would be received. I definitely do it though when I have one of those people, and you know who I'm talking about. So I didn't do that on this one. I'm kind of glad I didn't, but I do enjoy putting that one up, and it always makes her blush, so it's good. I just posted a last official post. It's 9:07. Now I actually have my parties go a little bit longer. So it's really 40 minutes until my last official post, where this one is more like was 35 minutes. So this was kind of a faster party, and I have spread my posts out. I've just gotten a little bit busy, so I let this one run. And I'm still learning the hazards of working with Post My Party templates and not having the time to tweak them the way it would be perfect. So I'm commenting here that I'll be here for a bit, still answering questions and helping with choosing and checking out. I like the way that sounds. All right, so we've experienced the first. You remember how at the beginning I was saying that there was not a lot of activity going on in this party. We do have one order, but it hasn't come through the website yet. There's somebody who's asking and ordering by commenting on my page. It's just one of the things that I give the option for. And so we will finalize that order, but I haven't had any actual emails come through. There are two things that I'm going to say about that. The first is that my particular hostess is an absolute night owl. I would wake up in the morning to messages from her at like 3 in the morning, but she wouldn't be on Facebook all day long. So it's very possible that this is when her friends are online, and I'll probably wake up to orders. In the meantime, I have 3 posts scheduled. I'm about to schedule my, okay, I'm signing off for the night. Good night, everyone. If you have questions, post in the event, and I will be around to answer them. It's 9:30. The party lasted for exactly an hour, but there wasn't really very much commenting going on. I would say the last, 10 minutes, you know? So we're going to post that little, all right, I'm off to bed. And one of the things I like about Post My Party is that when a post goes up, if I want to change the wording, I can edit the post, even though I didn't actually post it directly on Facebook myself.
Yep, and since share is the same
Yeah,
way.
yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and let that post go up, and then I might change something on it just to tweak it, because I like to tweak things. Now, in the morning, I will have a nice sweet post that goes up that says, just a friendly reminder, Alicia's party will be open until midnight, and if you want to get your books, just give me a holler. You can ask questions still. I'll be available on this event throughout the day. The second post will go up at about 6 in the evening when Facebook activity picks up again. And it'll say, start to panic. Today is the last day to order. And I will tag the people who have not yet ordered, who came to the party, with just a sweet message about how easy it is. And then around 10 o'clock, I get a post that says last call for orders. And in the meantime, right before that post goes up, I check in with my hostess. I've already been encouraging her to follow up personally. It can just be like, hey, are you buying anything? You know, something like that. But we have to remember that people are busy, and it's way more important to us than it is to them. So I try to make it as easy as possible for them. And those 3 reminders, again, are just like, oh yeah, I meant to do that. Okay. All right, I have until midnight. And then that 10 o'clock post goes up, and they have 2 more hours. And I think especially for this crowd, that's going to be really good. The other thing is that there were several people who were in different time zones. And so for them, it might be 7:30. They might be off putting kiddos to bed on their time, but they're going to get to this later. And that is perfectly fine. I do prefer it when they order in the party. And I have to confess, this is the first time I have not had an official order by the time that I sign off. But that's okay. You remember me saying that I kind of had one of those feelings about this particular party. But I'm really glad we did this because there was activity. I was able to show you what I do. The only thing that's going to be different for you is that as those orders start popping in, that's where it gets a little hairy because you want to open that email, you want to look at what they ordered, you want to go back into the event, and you want to post a thank you for your order with a big stack of books in the picture, and then you want to tag the person who ordered, thank them, and comment about at least one of the books and how much they're going to love it, and then tag their hostess as well and include her in the thank you. I do that for every single one, and I love going down those parties that have thank you for your order, thank you for your order, thank you for your order. And I've done several parties that have had 3 or 4 of those posts before the live part of the party even starts. So that's what we want to have happen for you. I'm sorry it didn't happen in this particular party, but I do hope that you were able to really get a sense of the behind the scenes part of running a Facebook party. Thanks for watching.